Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please, if you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. So today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew this beautiful cowl neck top. And without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first thing I went ahead to do is to draw a straight line, which I marked, which will serve as my starting point. Then I took the full length of my top, which is 24 inches. It's 23 inches plus the allowance, that's 24 inches. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to take my shoulder to waist measurement. So my shoulder to waist measurement is 16, but I'm going to mark 16.5 because of the half-inch allowance on the upper part, which we'll be using to join the shoulder. Okay, so now I marked my shoulder divided by 2, then I came down by 1 inch, and also I marked my neckline, which is 3 inches. Then I connected it like so. So after connecting, I did my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, so I had 7.5. Then I went ahead to draw a straight line. So I'm just going to go ahead to connect my shoulder line like so. So after doing this, I'm going to take my bust divided by 4, so that is around 9 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to mark 9 inch. So I'm going to get the midpoint of my shoulder, then come in by 3/4 of an inch. Then I'm just going to go ahead to connect like so. Okay, so after connecting, please make sure you connect it well. So after connecting, I'm going to go ahead to take my waist measurement divided by 4. So I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4 and add 1 inch. Also, I'll add 1 inch allowance on the post line. I forgot to do that. Also, my hips measurement divided by 4, then add 1 inch. So you can just do that for your own measurement also. Then I went ahead to connect like so. So for the neckline, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the back neckline. So I'm just going to connect like so. So after connecting it, I'm just going to go ahead to cut it out. So the reason why I'm drafting out the back is first is because we need the back piece to draft out the front piece. This particular design won't have a zip. Okay, so yeah, so basically another thing you can do is on your waistline, instead of using your exact waist, you can add 2 inches or 1. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut it out of my fabric. So I'm just going to go ahead to fold my fabric into 2, then place my pattern paper right on top. Then I'm going to go ahead to cut it out. So while cutting it out, I'm going to add the neck allowance, which is ½ inch, and shoulder, and also on the armhole part, because we didn't add any allowance at that point. We only added allowance at the side, so that's why I'm adding the neck, shoulder and armhole allowance. Okay, so please don't forget to add that to yours. You make sure you measure it. Okay, so now for the front, I'm just trying to show you where the bust line stops. I'm just marking that line properly. So on the bust line, I came up by about 4 inch because I don't want it too deep. Okay, but if you want it deep, you can just use that bust line. Okay, but for me, I don't want it so deep. That was why I came up by about 4 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it open like this. Okay, so if you want yours deep, please go with the bust line and cut it out just like I did for this 4 inch I marked up. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to place it on my fabric. Make sure your fabric is on fold. Okay, then I'm just going to go ahead to pin it down. Okay, so once again, like I said, if you want yours deep, make use of the bust line. I mean that bust line that I made obvious a few minutes ago. So just slash that open and open it up just like I did. But because I don't want mine deep, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead to open it up. Then the space between these, I made it about 5.5 inches, but if you want it fuller, you can do 7, you get. So I'm just going to go ahead to pin it down like so. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to connect a straight line from my shoulder all the way to the folded part. I'm so sorry this part isn't straight, I didn't realize. So basically it's just basically joining the shoulder to the folded part. So now I'm just going to go ahead to cut it out. Please, while cutting this part out also, don't forget to add the ½ inch for the shoulder allowance, and also for the armhole, and also for the neckline. Okay, so after cutting it out, I'm just going to go ahead to remove the pin and show you exactly what it looks like. So this is basically what we have. As you can see, I just went ahead to connect the shoulder to the neck part directly. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut out my facing. So I'm going to place another fabric on fold. Then after folding the fabric, I'm just going to go ahead to place my front piece right on top of this folded fabric. So I went ahead to pin it down, then I cut it out. Okay, so after doing this, I'm also going to do the same thing for the front, for the back piece. So as you can see, the facing is getting to like the shoulder, a bit to the armhole part, as you can see. So make sure it's getting to the armhole part, because this particular top won't have a sleeve, so I'm trying to make it neat as possible, and I don't want to use bias, so that's why it's getting to the armhole part. Okay, so this one also for the back, same thing. The facing is going to go all the way to the armhole part. Okay, so now that I'm done cutting out my facing, I'm just going to go ahead to open it up, then place my facing right on top like so, you can see. So now I'm just going to go ahead to sew it up by ½ inch on the neckline, and also ½ inch on the armhole part. But before that, make sure you secure every part with a pin. So now ½ inch and ½ inch. Okay, don't do anything to the shoulder parts, just the armhole and the neckline. So I'm also going to go ahead to do that for the front piece. That was the back piece, so this is the front piece. I'm going to go ahead to place my fabric right on top like so. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead to pin it down. Okay, so after pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead to sew up the armhole part by ½ inch, also the neck part. Okay, please don't sew the shoulder part. Okay, so this is what we have after sewing up the armhole and the neckline. Okay, so you can go ahead to notch the points, then turn it all out. As you can see, this is what the back piece looks like, and also this is our front piece, and this is what it looks like. So now that we are done with this, I went ahead to iron it. Okay, so this is what it looks like for now. So now I'm just going to place my front and back piece. Just watch out what I'm doing, face on face. Then I'm just going to insert this my front shoulder inside of the back shoulder. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. Insert it like so, and you're just going to go ahead to pin it down at that shoulder point. Make sure it is properly aligned, and I'm sure as you follow what I've told you to do, you're going to get the perfect measurement and the perfect sewing. So just make sure it aligns, then pin it down. Okay, so I'm just going to guide to pin it down. So place it properly. Just watch what I'm doing. So the point of this is so we don't have any sewing showing outside. Okay, this gives it a very neat finishing. So I'm just going to go ahead to do the same for the second sleeve. Place it inside like so, then go ahead to pin it down carefully. Okay, so after pinning it down on both sides, what I'm just going to go ahead to do is I'm going to take it to the sewing machine to sew it up by 1/2 inch. Okay, so this is what we have after sewing up the shoulder by 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to turn it all out. So now this is what our top looks like. It's already giving the cowl neck effect. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to join the sides. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to the wrong side, then join up the sides by 1 inch. If you remember, we took 1 inch allowance. Okay, so I'm going to join up the side by 1 inch on the sewing machine. So this is what we have after joining up the sides. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to hem the lower parts. Okay, so this is what we have after hemming the lower part. Please, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment and share. See you in the next one. Bye.